My name is Stephen Moiko. I'm a resident of Kajiado County. I'm the government-appointed director at the Tata Chemicals board, Magadi. My role really at the board is to work with the board in matters relating to community development issues, environmental issues, government relations, but basically really working with the community, making sure that the community and company relations are good, but also pushing forward the community development agenda within the company, ensuring that community benefits are shared appropriately and in the right way, that the community is benefiting from the resources that are the resources that the company is utilizing, that as the company is growing, the community is also growing. So it's a role that I've played now for a number of years, and I'm happy to say that I've made some very good progress. And this day, the Magadi Education Day, is one of the key achievements that we've been able to achieve, whereby we bring the community together to speak matters education, to see how we can uplift the level of education in Magadi, in the Lodokilani area, which is a very marginal area. It's a very dry area. It's an area that education standards have not been achieved for years, but we want to turn that around. And I'm happy to say that through the efforts that the company has made, investing in education, attracting teachers, building infrastructure, school infrastructure, creating safe and learning environment, safe learning environment for learners, we've started to see these changing. But these are efforts that we need to sustain, and the Magadi Education Day is one critical function, or one critical function that we are using to try to promote the level of education in the region. Today, the 21st of September 2023, is the third iteration of the Magadi Education Day. We started this in 2019, but we had to stop because of the COVID pandemic. So this is the first time that we're doing it in the last 2 years. And we are bringing in students from the surrounding schools in Magadi. We have eminent people who are coming to speak to the community and to the learners. We have an eminent professor from Maasai Mara University. His name is Dr. Daniel Njoreria Naikoni, who is going to be our guest of honor. We also have other eminent persons who we've brought in to come and speak to the community. One of them is Dr. Salau Rogei. The other one is a Maasai lady by the name of Teriano, who's also from the Kekonyoki in Kajiado area, who's a young woman who's come from very humble backgrounds, but have been able to go international and pursue master's and even PhD education. And we want to use her as a role model who can speak to the community to tell them that the Maasai girl child is able to excel in education. So this event is the third iteration of the Magadi Education Day, and the company is happy to continue supporting this program going forward as a way of uplifting education standards in the community. The Magadi Education Day is targeting the entire area of Lodokilani ward and the Magadi area. There are 4 group ranches surrounding the Tata Chemicals Magadi. These are Shompole, Olkiramatian, Oldonyonyokie, and Olkeri. We have more than 15 primary schools in that area, with a population of learners who are over 5,000. We have about 5 secondary schools. We have Patterson Memorial, we have Oloika, we have Oldonyonyokie, and Olobrototo. And these schools, the secondary schools, have a population of about 1,000 students or thereabout. And the Magadi Education Day does not target the learners only. it also targets the community. This is really an engagement where the community comes with the learners and the leadership of the company, but also the county government, the people who are working in education, the Ministry of Education, all the stakeholders in education matters. They come together in Magadi and basically reflect, how is our performance doing? How is our national examination performance compared to other regions? And what are the loopholes? What are the issues? And how are we able to resolve them? So we have an engagement. It's an open meeting. Everybody can come in. We have learners being awarded who have done well. They are awarded some prizes. But also, it's an opportunity also for the company to present what it's doing for matters education. The Tata Chemicals Magadi company has a tertiary scholarship program where 25 students per year are awarded full university scholarships. And this program has been running from for about, over 30 years now. I'm the chairman of that committee, and it's a very transparent process. So we sensitize the community about that. There's also a secondary education bursary facility. So we sensitize the community about that. 2 years ago, we've also started a technical course support program where the company sponsors 15 students from the area to go to technical colleges and acquire skills like plumbing, electric work, mechanic, motor mechanics and things like that. So this is also an opportunity to present those to the community and tell them there are these opportunities and you can engage in them, but also to reflect, are the things that the company doing, are they really making an impact? So we try to bring in alumni of these programs to come and speak. I'm happy to say that I'm an alumni, of the Magadi tertiary program. Back about 20 years ago, when I was still an undergraduate at the University of Nairobi, I was able to get a sponsorship from then Magadi Soda Company. And that enabled me to finish my first degree at the University of Nairobi before I proceeded to Canada for my postgraduate studies. And now I'm chairman of that particular committee. And so I know firsthand the impact of such support. And I'm privileged to the government of Kenya and to the Tata Chemicals company for giving me the opportunity to be able to push forward that agenda to make sure that we're giving those opportunities to students who are otherwise unable to support their education. So I think it is a one-of-a-kind program. I think it's a program that is really changing lives at the local level. And I think it is creating, it's creating impact that will have much benefit and impact going forward in many years to come. We've seen great impact out of the beneficiaries of Tata Chemicals Magadi scholarship programs. I am confident to say that the majority, almost 80% of all the students from the Magadi area who've excelled in tertiary education, who are employed in big companies and holding high positions in this country, are beneficiaries of support programs, either at the secondary, university, or whatever level in Magadi. Most of the employees from this area who are the county government are beneficiaries of this program. Most of the, we have medical doctors, we have engineers, some of them who are employed in the company, and people who have excelled in many other ways, who are beneficiaries of these programs. And during today's Education Day, we'll be showcasing a number of them. They will be coming and speaking to the community, not only to show that the program has had impact, but the main objective really is to motivate those learners out there, especially the girl child. Despite the opportunities for supporting education in this area, we still find that the girl child particularly is affected. The enrollment rate of girls, or the completion or the transition rates of girls compared to boys is still very low. And this can be attributed because to cultural factors. We still have high incidences of early marriages, high incidences of early pregnancies, and rampant cases of female genital mutilation. And those are having a direct impact on the ability of the girl child to pursue learning, but also to transition to higher level. And this is a key theme in our Education Day programs. And in the scholarships that we offer, we try to specifically target the girl child. We try to support them. We go out to identify the girls who need support and try to support. We've identified them as vulnerable groups. And other than that, the other effort that the company has is trying to help address this particular issue of girl child education is to create safe spaces for them to learn. We've come to realize, for example, that the boarding facilities in our secondary and primary schools are sometimes not as good, and it creates an opportunity for girls as they go home and come back to school for them to engage in practices that lead them to dropping out of school. So we've created a program of establishing dormitories in secondary schools especially, and with that program we've seen pregnancy levels come down. So I think it needs targeted interventions. It needs very close monitoring. If children don't report to school, it's very important to have teachers to follow them up and see what is happening, because there's an acute challenge of dropping out of the girl child in primary school, especially in class 7 and 8, but also in high school. And that has an impact the community. We all know that educating a girl is educating a society. So we need to support the girl child to transition, to get to the tertiary level and make something useful out of their education. Good. So the bulk of the education programs, the scholarships, the dormitory building, and the activities that the company is doing for education in the area is largely sponsored by the company through its CSR program, but also through the CDA program. However, we've been getting some support from outside. We have the Patterson Memorial Foundation, for example, that has been supporting a number of secondary going students. We have an individual who today will be speaking, and who is willing to support at least 5 students through university level education. But the door is really open for people out there, charitable organizations, to support the activities that the company is doing to support the education in the area. We are just doing a little bit with the funding that the company has, but really the space is there. So anybody out there who wants to support education in Maasai land, in Magadi area, or even in larger Kajiado, we have set up structures to identify the needy students. We can manage the funds, and we'll make sure that every cent will go to the needy students. So it's something that we've started. The company is putting in a lot of money in there, but there's still a lot of room for donors outside and an interested individual and organization to support the education. So they can reach out to the company, and we will have a discussion. We'll show them the area of needs, and we'll show them how they can come in and support. My parting shot is basically to the Maasai community and the leadership. If you look at what is happening globally, education is really the key to a sustainable future in terms of maintaining our environment, but also enhancing our livelihood opportunities. The Maasai community is still lagging behind in education. And it's because we've not really put in the infrastructure that is needed for quality education. Most importantly, other than the buildings and the infrastructure, we need people committed to pursuing education. We need quality teachers, people who can follow up on the students, people who can stick with them there, the mentors who can show students that you can do something with your education. So I really urge the leadership, the community leadership, the county government to continue with the good efforts that they are doing, but to really connect with the communities, especially in the rural areas like Magadi, but also in other parts of Kajiado that are quite marginal and rural, that are not accessible, because there are children there whose only opportunity is to get a good education so that they can come back and develop their own communities. Speaking specifically on the issue of the deteriorating level of education and transition levels for the girl child, I would like to urge the parents in Kajiado, especially Maasai parents, that they need to pay particular attention to the girl child. The girl child requires support. They need to be aware of their, of the kind of environment that they learn in. They need to follow up what the children are doing in school. They need to have that connection to make sure that the transition levels are happening. But also, just good parenting at the home level. Just know who your child is hanging out with. We've started seeing a little bit of a problem involving, things like substance abuse in school. So, and that also has an impact. It's not yet a big problem in Maasai land, but we are seeing that as a challenge which is starting to emerge. So I would like to urge the parents and the teachers that we need to pay particular close attention to our girl students to make sure that we are talking to them, that we are allowing them the opportunity to open up so that we can catch and arrest some of the behaviors that lead to their dropping out in school, because we really need them to get good grades, to transition to higher institutions of learning, and to make something meaningful out of their education. Because it's only that when they are able to do that, that they can come back and be meaningful members of community. The community requires a lot of teachers, it requires a lot of doctors, it requires a lot of engineers, like in the company here. And it's only when this girl child, the girl children are able to complete and really get good grades, and transition and come back into the community, that will be able to achieve or get an impact out of the investment that the parents and and other people have put into these children.